So I'm going to take a look at the Observer's Everyman crossword, and this is being published on Sunday the 18th of May 2025. I will not be publishing this until I guess the 25th of May because there's a prize attached to this puzzle, so I can't really be putting up spoilers on the web. Not that I entered the puzzle, but it's possible to. So yeah, that's it really. But also we don't then get to check the answers, although I'm not very confident about what I put in. So I think the only thing to do really, the clock isn't ticking at the moment. I have had a little test, so that's why I reset the timer. Let's just see if I go back there. Does that start to tick? Yeah, it starts to tick. So I'm going to reset the thing again, reset the clock and start from here. Okay, small timer mucked about in flowing water. That looks like an arrow, small timer. I don't know what flowing water is. Bath time. Culinary paste that's semi-soft in past. Is that emis? I'm not sure. Section of allegory that amuses youngsters. Lego, I suppose. Yes, Lego. We like that. Okay, on to the next one. Basic Instinct star Sharon Stone succeeded with character of Ferryman. And Sharon Stone was in Basic Instinct. Succeeded is S. Yeah, Charon was the ferryman, wasn't he? Not the lead. Not the lead stone. Don't know about that. Not sure about that. Succeeded in S. Charon is without the C. Not the lead. Not sure about that. So this is 4 and 6. Fell. Oh, we've got small. Mill. Stream. Some kind of stream there, isn't there? Mill stream? Am I going to have to? I think I'm going to have to. So we've got S M A L L timer. Yeah, I think that's millstream then, which makes. Let's go back. Oh, where am I going? Go and try back there. Oh gosh, there. So I think that must be miso as a soft pace. Sister inhaling midgie at Riverside to gain approval more than once. Signatures. Sis with Nat, and then the river is the year. Okay, I'll go with that. Declared Cockneys claim to be aware. Cockneys lose a claim. Averse, declares averse. I think let's bring up a D. Aver is to claim. Averse. Something like toughly. Please don't be. It's going to be roughly, isn't it? It really is roughly and toughly. Not bothered when funds spoiled in American Yard. I assume that's a funds. Unfussy. Yeah, I think it's unfussy, isn't it? With US being funds in US with a Y. Yeah. Okay. Maternal protector. That looks like mother. Mother. Yeah. Hornet is a anagram mother. Healed and mature. What's mature? Mother. Well, that would be declared sure about that. Doctor taking tablets and joint somewhere in eastern Germany. Dresden. Doctor ease and joint. Then Dresden. Not so sure about that joint bit. Then let's go and have a look at these ones down here or up here. Pronouncedly idle. Every man's of inferior quality. Oh, pronouncedly idle. So. Every man's. Is there a. No. Look back to. So that's keep going peak backwards. Yep. Create moment of conception with permeating forms. Create moment of conception. Not sure where that's going. Around the bend. never starting to move for a century. Around the bend, one. What goes in there? E. Is this Mother Nature? Yeah, that's Mother Nature, isn't it? Okay. Around the bend, never starting to move for a century. Century student. Oh, we'll put a student in there. That doesn't work. Comfortable is nice locale in which Titanic's Jack wish to be. N. That doesn't really work, does it? And yet, Mother Nature is definitely an anagram of that. N. 1325. N. Not sure about that. Maybe Dresden's wrong, but even then, what's the N doing on its own? No. Okay, let's go back to the crosses, if I can get to them. Amazes with love. There's a love O. Falling for old flame, showing some muscle. Oh, amazes with love. I mean, old flame could be O, I suppose. Recover from man flu, go off scratching somewhere in the Arabian Sea. I don't know where the Arabian Sea is particularly. Gulf of Oman? Gulf of Oman. Man flu, go off. I think there's an anagram of that, yep. Christmas in Spanish province, kicking back. Christmas. Noel and Leon. Leon going backwards, Noel. Ponder cat's noises. Muse? Yeah, muse. So, sounds like a muse. Paternal patronymic. This is father. Time is father. So we've got Mother Nature and father. There's fat, rotund, fat, her. Personages, paternal. Father Christmas. Father. Rotund shape, so shape. Father square, father rectangle, triangle, circle. Paternal. Personages, father. Not sure about that one. Okay. Amazes, oh gosh, amazes with love, falling for old flames, showing some muscle. Not sure about that. You shouldn't have tucked into pudding, not since, not nice. Ultimately lingering tang. So I assume not nice. Ultimately a lingering tang, some kind of taste, isn't it? Aftertaste. Pudding is afters. You shouldn't have. I don't know what that would be. Aftertaste. There's the taste. Lingering tang is an aftertaste. Amazes with love. Falling for old flame. Flex something. Flex. Showing some muscle. Flexing. Maybe this isn't Sharon Stone. Although Sharon Stone is the lead artist. Lead what's it? Flex. Old flame. Flexion. How does that work? Old flame. Spice Girl. That's not a Spice Girl, is it? That's going to be something like rosemary, I would think. But rosemary isn't spice, she's a herb. Okay, let's go over to here. Throw out scheme. Nope. Models not half, ugly and a little nasty on the inside. One stuck up. Cool, stuck up. Not half ugly would suggest put an ly into something, but quite what, I'm not sure. Let's go back to the crosses. Licking his lips madly, Rod loves all. Yeah, Rod loves all is an anagram of, well, it's a 10 letters, and we're needing a 6 and a 4. Licking his lips madly. I want to say dog lover. Pavlov's dog. Nope. Saliva. This one, financial backer, swindler, fishy type. Financial backer is a swindler is a fishy type is a. I assume we've got probably financial backer is 5 letters, swindler is 5 letters, and gives us a fish of some type, but probably not fishy per se. Dinosaur leaving cross with kilometre to walk, arduously walk. Dinosaur leaving cross with kilometre. And that's just should be, so it could be something like a swindler, trickster, trick. Not sure. Dinosaur. I can't think of many dinosaurs that are short enough to fit. Leaving cross. Usually vivid eyeballs. What's that? Uvia. Uvia. Yeah, oh, kind of spite. Uvia. Yeah, primarily glue. At least that helps a little bit. Yeah. That's something a lover, isn't it? What is it? Lover. Doors lover? Dory. Rodeo lover? Can't be right. What have I got? Lover. Now I've got too many. I've got 2 O's, an E. I've got 3 O's. 3 O's. Doro. Rodo. Rodo lover. Doesn't work. Drawl. Drawl. Okay, let's put drawl in there and see what see what I've got instead. Rod is taken out. Love. So I've got ES. Drawl roves. Roves drawl. Draws over. There we are. Draws. If I'd actually read the annotation of 6 and 4, I'd have a much better chance, wouldn't I? Dinosaur. Croc. To walk is to trek, isn't it? Why is that? I think. Trek. Oh, T-Rex becomes trek. Yep, okay. Clever. Fair enough. Give you that one. 3 and 4. E. Not sure about this Dresden. I think doctor taking tablets is doctor with ease. Joint though. Dres. Somewhere in Eastern Germany. Not sure. Declared is aver. Aver. To be aware is to. Doesn't really work. Aversed. Aver. If I spell it correctly, I've got a much better chance, haven't I? That's where I had a problem with the. Why I had a problem with the other one. Okay. Averred. Averred. Avid. Aver is declare, so if you declared, you avid. To be aware is havard. Have read. Have read. To be aware. I have read this, I think. Okay, now this makes sense. Now the spelling mistake's gone. What's this? A comfortable locale in which Titanic's Jack wished to be a bed of roses. I would think that is. Bit of a biff on that one, which makes that shark. Loan shark, I think that is. Loan shark? Loans shark? I think that's loans. Financial backer is loans. Swindler is a not sure about that actually. Spice Girl. Okay, this is. Spices do tend to end in a no, so there's a good chance of that. This one's like down, one's stuck up. Models, not half. It could be an anagram. Models, not half ugly. Could be the UG, of course, and a little nasty on the inside. Loan shark will give you money. Swindler loans doesn't really work, but father, what's his father? Father, person, fat shape, square. Square does fit. I think it's square, but actually, if that was square, that'd be a U there. That's not good for a 3 or 4 letter. Not letter, but I mean, I'm not convinced. Not certain that Bed of Roses is correct, but Rose was the character in Titanic. Throw out scheme is to this one amazes flex X. A flame is with love falling. So is that moving O amazes fall? Because you show some muscle, you flex. Okay, let's go back over here, see if I can work my way across from here. Around, okay, so around the bend, never starting to move for a century. 100, I suppose. I'm not quite sure why again. But 100 is a century. Around the bend. It's just an anagram, isn't it? 100. I think I need to tick it off, but I think so. I think this is so-so. Pronouncedly idle. Inferior quality is so-so. So. Pronouncedly idle. I'm trying to see if there's some kind of pronounced, so things. Idle. If that was an O, what would that give me down there? Create moment of conception with permeating forms. Gosh. I mean, okay, so actually let's think about this a bit more. Maybe it's, I was kind of going on the fact it's a 2-2 and inferior quality is so-so, but maybe it's to do, to... There's not many things that fit there actually. Go. Everyman's is my. So my, so... Pronouncedly idle. Create a moment of conception with permeating forms. Is that just an anagram permeating? Could be, couldn't it? Which case that's... I've only got one N, so... You're going to make me get my pen and pad out for this anagram, aren't you? I don't know. Permeating may or may not be an anagram. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, yeah. There are no letters then, something P, something E, N. I can't really see what the ending would be if it were an anagram, but that doesn't stop it from being an anagram. Map, progenation, gen. This one again. Throw out scheme. Model's not half. I mean, if model's not half, could be MOD. Mod. Cons. Mod. One stuck up. Or otherwise, L's. To model is to sit. Ugly and a little nasty on the inside. One stuck up. Sit down. Don't really like that. Oh, this is going to pair Mother Nature, Father. So fat is rotund. Entertaining that woman, so it is a her. So that's just, there has to be a shape here, but I cannot think what it is. It's going to be a hexagon. Circles are probably the best letter, but that doesn't fit. actually haven't decoded. I mean, again, another clue here. I haven't really decoded Dresden. Den for joint. Somewhere in East. Yeah, pretty certain that's a place in. I don't know. Dresden is definitely in Germany. I think it's East Germany. Joint. Not sure. Is it like a drug den? Is a joint? I don't know. Gin joint, drug den. Around the bend. Let's see if that is. So around. There's no A. So never starting. So take the A out from R O U N D H E bend. Yeah. So no. Okay. So yeah, it's basically an anagram of those words without. Without a first letter on it around each of those words. My list of spices is low. Cinnamon. Cinnamon even a spice? Amazes. Flex. Is it flex? Old flame. Flex. X is your old flame. Love falling. Hard not to think that's flex something, but what word it is, I don't know. Flex, so flex on, flex off. Hard on a double def, if that's just Spice and Girl. I really wanted Sharon Stone here. So Sharon Stone is basically in star. Succeeded is an S. Character of Charon's tone. Charon's tone, yeah, and without the C for Charon. Because that was his name. So his name was spelt Charon, but it's Sharon Stone. Okay, good. All right, I've actually unravelled that now, so that makes me feel happy. So you've got triangles, squares. Square does fit, I think, even if I don't like the fact that I then, if I could actually put square, square would fit. Father square, personal, paternal, father. 6 and 6, father. Okay, well if that was an S for square, I'm not keen on the fact that would have to be a U there, but if it was, what have we got for a potential spice and or girl? Can't think what it is. Embargo fits. I think that's right. Amazes with love. So just knowing around love, in which case I'm probably just looking at that wrong really. Flex. I can't really see what an offline can be other than an X. I guarantee that loan shark is right. Loans. Fishy type, loan shark. Not and a little nasty on the inside. So a little nasty would be a is it possible it's just ones stuck up? Ones. SNE doesn't really. Hang on, trying to spell it correctly. Ones. Use noon. Models. I thought so. I think financial brokers loan shark, or loans. Maybe I've got that wrong, because swindler doesn't really fit into that. I think the fishy type is a shark. Well, I don't know what it can be otherwise, really. But maybe that will just help out on these. He said in an ever hopeful way. Throw out is to do over. To scheme is a. God, what scheme is even? Plan, strategy. That one, yeah, a bed of roses, fair enough. This, create, moment of conception, procreation, progenation, pop, with permeating forms. Pronouncedly idle, every man's of inferior quality. Every man's is my eye is. Can't be idle, IDOL, can it? Go. Okay, well, I'm going to put the video on pause while I have to think to myself. I have finally, after about 10 minutes, of added flexes to this one. So yeah, I reread the clue a few times. And amazes, so we need a word for amazes, which is flaws, and then replace the love. So love is O, the first O, being replaced by old flame, which is next, to give you flexes, which is showing some muscle. Muscles are flexes. So what's this? Sandurino? Sandor. I've put back in the O in the end because I think probably it's just a very cryptic way of saying loan shark. Spice Girl. Oh, my list of spices is low. But we're also looking for a girl, aren't we? So take that out. Scar. And oh, sorry. So I realised that this is have heard. Is claimed to be aware. Have heard. Avid. Have heard. So B. Smegro. There's not a woman's name there, is there? Sandra. SS, ST, SF. Sharon Stone and Shara. HJ, no, K. Sla. SW, Swa. Spice Girl, SR, ST. Can't think of any girls with ST, SU. Sundries. Sunita. Son. Maybe I'm just looking at it wrong way. Scary Spice. Ginger Spice. Ginger Spice doesn't fit. And pretty much nothing fits there really of those attempts. Paternal personage. Father Time, Father Christmas, Father... can't think of anything after that. Put that back in for no good reason. So yeah, I got a little bit further, but I'm going to have to go back to pause mode, see what I can tick on with. Right, I'm just wondering if this is tugboat down here, because I suddenly remembered a model can refer to a Model T sometimes, then not half ugly would fit with tug. And the only word I can think of is tugboat. One stuck up though doesn't really work. Tug. But okay, let's add a little nasty on the inside. Okay, so even if that's father figure, isn't it? There we are. That kind of. Okay, that's saffron. Oh, they are saffron. That's easy. Once you get a little help, that totally destroys the idea of loan shark. Thankfully, if that was a T for tugboat, I'm not convinced it is. Financial backer is a swindler. Fishy type is a shark, I think. Swindler is a tug and a little nasty. Models is T. Yeah, okay, maybe it's T with they're not ugly would be UG and A there, and then actually a little nasty would be O. What can that be? Bod, boy, a little nasty. I think it's tugboat, but then one stuck up doesn't really work as tugboat, does it? Let's try and work out this one. Throw out scheme is I put in that ing for a bit of not practice, but a bit of thinking earlier. See, the scheme might be to scheme. Might be. Assume this is tugboat. To throw out. If that's tugboat, or tug, I'm not convinced it is, but tug fits. And with father figure there, it certainly fits. Tug one stuck up. I can't think of any other word that's tug really. If that's TA doesn't work, tau DFG H2, so JKL 2 throw out is to TRO feels like the most likely, other than TOO to but outside of that, not a lot really fits in there. Not guaranteed that it's tugboat, but I think it probably is. Models. But I don't know what BO would be. A little nasty on the inside. Body odour. One stuck up. Doesn't really fit as definition either. tug. Right, back again to the whatever. I'll just have a look actually the fact that this is puzzle. Sorry, puzzle 4100, and we've got 100 there. I don't know if there's any 100, 4000. We've got 1000 here, have we? Don't think we have, but can't guarantee we haven't. Looking in the unchecked places. Right, I'm going back to pause mode, have another think. Okay, my alphabet drawing has come to a conclusion. Actually, maybe this is project. I'm not sure why. And then that would be one stuck up is a pig nose. Why'd that be pig nose? Oh, if that was pig nose, because pig's noses are stuck up. Models, pose, yep, not half ugly. So we got pose with IGN inside. And a little nasty, I think. Okay, N for nose. Nasty, sorry. And then not half ugly. Pug nose. Oh, pug nose now. Ugly. Pug nose, okay. So, what's this? Financial backer. Can't be. And ale work. S would work. I'll have to come back and test these a bit more. L. Enemy shark. Could be. TN's unlikely. UN's undershark. Underwriter. Financial backer. Under. O would work and P would work. Oh, not sure about that, but yeah, project works because project is a scheme, and then if you throw something out, you project it. So that's a bit of an interesting definition, but I think it works. Yeah, got rid of that. Okay, so if that was a T, I'm not saying it is, but if it were a T, it fits an anagram. There's an 8 there, isn't there? Progenate. AE would leave. Germinate. Can't be right. Germinate. RM. Germ. That's interesting. It feels like germinate fits there. Germinate. No, it doesn't quite. Assume that would P for permeating anyway. Impregnate. Impregnate. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. So what's this? So my. I think it's pronouncedly idle. Inferior quality. I don't know if I know this word. So yeah, down to the last two. 50 minutes to get to here. Pronouncedly idle would be. Everyman's is I. Codai, Kodai, Fodai, Wodai, Woe. Oh. Right, back to pause mode yet again. Okay, I'm going with that being lo-fi, so if you're idle then you loaf around, loaf, and then I for everyman, so lo-fi, the opposite of hi-fi, which is high fidelity, high quality, lo-fi, which just leaves this one here, financial backer. I want to put undershark, but I don't think that's the right word. mainly because I want to get on away from it, but I don't think that's right. So I guess I'm going to go back to pause mode alphabet trawl, see what I can come up with. Okay, well, I finished it. Angel Shark. It's told me I've completed it in 51:36. So I chucked in Angel Shark because the financial backer is an angel. I have read somewhere. Um, wow. Okay, so this time they've allowed me to have that score thing this week. And 280 means I've done it correctly. I think all the clues. I think there's 14 clues, so you score 20 points per correct clue. Suggests it's all done. Um, didn't get that last week. I don't think I had anything wrong last week, so um, there we go. 51:36. Wow, that was a big old thing. I don't know how long I've recorded. 40 minutes worth, so a little bit taken out. Right, I will go through the clues as best I can. So we've got one across. Small timer is an anagram of mill stream. Mucked about is your anagram indicator, and flowing water is a mill stream. If you're idle, then you loaf around, which would be LOAF, and everyman is I, so it's a sound like a loaf I, which gives you lo-fi 2 and 2. So low fidelity, hi-fi, lo-fi. I think is how that one works. Sister, SIS, inhaling midgie, so a midge is a gnat. The River Ure, which is I think in Yorkshire, not entirely sure. So that's the Riverside Ure. To gain approval from more than one is to get signatures. To look back, so we've got peek is a look. If you take a peek, you take a look, which is going backwards, which gives us a keep, which is part of a castle. Bit of a oldie goldie chestnut there. Maternal protector is Mother Nature, which is an anagram of mature hornet, and healed is your anagram indicator. Not bothered is unfussy. And then we've got when funds spoiled in American Yard. So we've got funds is NFUS. Spoiled is your anagram indicator to mix up those letters. Put it in American, which is US, and Y for yard. Doctor is DR. Tablets are ease. And then a den as joint. I think you get a gin joint, which is a kind of drinking establishment back in the old days, gin joint, and I think a den is some drugs den, maybe is a joint in the same way. Dresden is somewhere in East Germany. We got flexors. If you show some muscle, then your muscles are flexors or extenders sometimes, but in this case we're going flexors. We've got amazes, so we take the word amazes. Synonym for that is flaws. So FLOORS, and then replace the first O. So love falling is saying replace the first O with an old flame, which is an X. Simple double definition here. So if you throw something out there, you project it, and a scheme is a project. Paternal personage is a father figure. Rotund is fat. A shape is a figure, and saying that woman is her. Ponder is to muse. Cat's noises are mews, MEWS, so sound like a muse. Licking his lips madly, so drools over, or licking his lips is drools over. That's definition. Madly is your indicator, that anagram indicator that Rod loves, or is an anagram of drools over. Christmas is Noel, and Spanish province is Leon, and kicking back is saying put Leon backwards. A financial backer is an angel. A swindler is a shark, and a fishy type. So yeah, angel shark is a type of shark. A fishy type, therefore. I've never heard of meso, but it's a hidden word across semi-soft. In part is your hidden word indicator, and it must be some kind of culinary paste. Section of is telling you there's a hidden word in allegory, which is Lego, and Lego amuses youngsters. We've got the basic instinct star, Sharon Stone. I was trying to think who the other one was. I think it was Michael Douglas is the other star of it, but yeah, Sharon Stone. Succeeded is an S, and then we've got the character of the ferryman. So Charon, I'm going to call it Charon. Charon was the ferryman across the river Styx, which takes you to Hades in Greek mythology. So the character is his tone. So Charon's tone. But not the least, so take the C off of Charon gives you and then put the S in place gives you Sharon Stone. Something like is roughly, and toughly is roughly. So double definition again there. Declared is avid, and Cockneys claim to be aware. Well, the Cockney might say either. Well, if he wasn't being a Cockney, I have heard, avid would be the Cockney dropping his H. Around the bend, never starting. So take off the A, the T, and the B from those three words, and then move them, anagram them to get to 100, which is a century. I don't know if that's related to the fact that we're on puzzle 4100 in some way. I can't see why it would be, other than where the 4000 bit comes from. To create, the moment of conception is to impregnate, and permeating is an anagram of impregnate. Forms is your anagram indicator. On the further downs, we've got comfortable locale. Comfortable. That's a bed of roses. It's a colloquial. I think it's just a colloquialism for a comfortable locale. Although I'm thinking, well, a bed of roses is never going to be comfortable because of all the thorns. But anyway, in Titanic, in the film Titanic, Jack was played by Leonardo DiCaprio, and Kate Winslet's character, the love interest, was Rose, so he would have wished to be in a bed of roses. Recovered from man flu scratching bottom somewhere in the Arabian Sea. So I think recovered from his tanks. There's an anagram of man flu go. I'm just looking golf off and off as well, but take off the second F, so scratch the bottom, take off the second F of off somewhere. So we're anagramming that to get to the Gulf of Oman, which is somewhere in the Arabian Sea. Whew, okay, you shouldn't have tucked into pudding, not nice. Okay, you shouldn't have is tar, as in thank you, tar. Pudding is afters, so that's the after S with a tar in it, and then not nice ultimately is saying take the T of not and the E of nice ultimately is that indicator, and a lingering tang is an aftertaste. Simple double definition here. Saffron is a type of spice and it is a girl's name. I say simple definition. It's hard if you haven't got some clues there, letters to help you out. To model is to pose, and in the model we've got not half ugly, so the U and the G. So lose half of ugly and keep half, so not half, just UG. And then a little nasty is just saying take the N and put that on the inside of model. So you've got UGN going into pose, which gives you a pug nose, which is something that's stuck up, so a type of nose that's a bit stuck up. Usually vivid eyeballs attribute. This is the one of the trademark clues by Everyman, primarily clue, so UVEA is the uvea, which is an eyeball attribute. And dinosaur is a T-Rex, but we're going to take off the X from T-Rex, so leaving the cross, replacing it with a K for kilometre gives you a trek, and to walk arduously walk is to trek. So there we go, all done. As I say, the primarily clue is uvea, the lo-fi clue, which is the Everyman trademark clue, and then we've sort of got a not rhyming pair, but we've got a pair there: Mother Nature, father figure, father and mother showing up there. And he quite often likes to put in a geographical place, which is the Gulf of Oman today. So there we go. All done in 51.5 minutes. Another trudge, but another trek, should I say. But there we go. Thanks for watching.